How's it going, guys? In this video, we're going to be going over how to get a 700 plus credit score in order to go out there and get financing for your cranes, your semi trucks, your excavators, your bulldozers, your skid steers, any type of equipment, construction equipment you need. This video is going to tell you everything you need to be able to get the financing you need to go out there and get that equipment, grow your business, and scale as far as you want to scale. All right. All right, so first you need to know where you're sitting at now with your credit score. So first you want to go to Experian.com, all right? And then you want to pull your credit reports. All right, your first credit report should be free. And then if you want your other ones, which you should want your other ones, because then you'll be able to see any type of errors or you'll have different scores on each bureau. The other bureaus are TransUnion and Equifax. So you'll want to see everything that's on each one of your credit scores, each one of your credit profiles, so you can see where you stand and what the lenders will see whenever they pull your credit. Because whenever you apply for something, whether it's a credit card or auto loan or mortgage, anything like that, they go and they view your credit. So you want to see what they're looking at so you can know what you need to improve on. All right. And like I said, this is going to go over how to get that 700 plus credit score. You only really need a 620 or 600 plus, but if you have a 700 plus credit score, you'll get the best terms. You'll get 0% down payment, things like that. All right. You'll get the highest limits on credit cards. You'll be able to get the best equipment and different things like that. All right. So on your credit report, all right, you'll go down to your accounts and you'll see different accounts. Okay. And you'll see credit cards. On your credit cards, you'll want your credit cards to be below 10% utilization. Okay. If you don't have any accounts, you want to make sure that you go out there and start building up your credit profile. So you want to, like I said right here, get a credit card or two. If you don't have anything on there, you may have to get a secured credit card. So go to your local credit union or whatever bank you're with and try to get a secured credit card and maybe a secured loan as well. You'll put up maybe 500. You'll give it to them, and they'll give you a credit card or a personal loan for $500 to $1,000. And this is basically a tool you use to build your credit up whenever you don't have any credit. But let's say you do have accounts, you'll make sure your credit card is below 10% utilization. You'll want to make sure that you have higher limit credit cards, maybe $1,000, 2,000, 3,000, or maybe even 10,000, and those are good as well. Also, auto loans, you want to make sure that any of your auto loans or your mortgages or your personal loans, all of those need to be paid as agreed with no late payments. All right. If you have any late payments, you may need to just go get credit repair and clean that up in order to get those, in order to be seen in the best light with the lenders and the banks. All right. Also, make sure that you have no collections or charge offs. If you do have collections or charge offs, look on your credit, call the collection company, and see if you can do pay for deletion. If they don't offer that, then just do get credit repair and just get it removed with credit repair. All right. Make sure your inquiries are less than 3. If you have anything more than that, it's not a huge problem, but the more inquiries that you have, it makes you look kind of thirsty to the banks. And so if they see that you're just applying for credit left and right, you're applying with every bank, you look kind of desperate, and that increases the risk that you look more risky to the banks basically. If you're just applying, they see it that you're desperate for credit. All right. And so the ideal credit profile will look like this. It'll be a 700 plus credit score, 0 collections or charge offs, multiple credit cards, maybe even a $10,000 credit limit on one of them, less than 10% utilization. So the more that you use on your credit card, like let's say you're maxed out on it or you're using 50% of your allowed limit, they're going to see that you're probably in a tight credit situation, because why would you just be maxed out on a credit card like that? So you want to be as low on your credit cards utilization as possible, maybe even just completely have it paid off. Also, maybe multiple credit cards from major banks. So the major banks are like Amex, Capital One, Chase, things like that, or banks like that. And like I said, less than 3 inquiries. This is ideal. You don't have to have an ideal credit profile to get funded. This is just something where if you want the best terms, you want to max out on your limits, max out on your loans, and you really want to scale it, maybe get 2, 3 pieces of equipment. This makes you look less risky to the bank. Also, the benefits of a 700 plus credit score. Like I said, you get the best financing options. So the lowest interest rates. You may be able to get the best piece of equipment versus settling for a lower, older piece of equipment or a used piece of equipment. Allows you to improve cash flow management. So instead of paying for your $100,000 piece of equipment cash, it allows you to keep your cash and be able to finance those payments for that piece of equipment over time. So instead of paying $70,000 for a skid steer, you're able to break up those payments maybe over 5 years, so that you're not just spending $70,000 cash, and that may squeeze you on other things like marketing or payroll and other things like that. Also, you get huge credit limits. So whenever your credit is in shape, you can go out there and get $100,000, $200,000 in just pure credit cards. This doesn't even include the equipment. This is just open credit or open credit lines to use on whatever you want to use, whether it's marketing or anything, anything type payroll or anything like that. All right. Also, you get stronger vendor and supplier relationships. So whenever you're able to go to vendors and say, "Hey, let me open up a credit account," they'll begin to trust you more once you make your payments over time. So you build up trust with these vendors and suppliers, so that maybe when you go back to them in the future, you may be able to negotiate a cheaper rate on a piece of equipment, or maybe even a cheaper price, because they know that you're constantly going back to them, and it just builds up your relationship and your credibility with that vendor and that supplier and the banks. Also, more affordable leasing and equipment. So, if you have bad credit, you may see a higher interest rate, which raises the amount that you're paying each month for the equipment. Versus if you have a good credit score, you may be able to have a lower interest rate, which will make your payments more affordable and allow you to spend that extra money in other areas of your business to grow your construction business. And that's the same with the interest rates. Like I said, higher credit score, you get lower interest rates, which lowers your monthly payment. And then lower credit scores, it raises your interest rate, which raises your monthly payment. You begin to have stronger relationships with your subcontractors because they know they can trust that they will always receive payment on time. They will always have a consistent flow of jobs, and they'll just want to work with you and provide good service to you and your clients at all times. Also, with good credit, since you're able to get more equipment or more valuable equipment, you can begin to take on more jobs at the same time. So instead of having one piece of equipment for one job, let's say you can finance four pieces of equipment and have four jobs going at the same time, and pretty much quadruple your overall business. And like I said, all of this begins with just a strong credit score and a profitable business. All right. So all of this leads to a more stable life for you and your family, and a more stable business, so that you can grow and thrive and have an impact on your community. All right. So if you have any questions, make sure you comment. Comment. So if you have any questions, make sure you comment below. Reach out to me so I can help you get the funding you need to grow and thrive in your business.